Hey, thank you for coming by Tory Magoo 44. Today is the 26th of April, 2013. Is it 2013? I think it is. It's amazing. Doesn't it still feel like it's 2000? I mean, it does to me. I know. What can I say? Time rolls on, but it definitely is rolling on in a good way for us. Today, we've been telling you a lot about Narconon. Why? Because four kids were killed, or, they died, not killed, but they died in the hands of Narconon, which is underneath the umbrella of the Church of Scientology. And they used L. Ron Hubbard's techniques, right? And medical abuse, really, which I personally experienced many times for 30 years with the Church of Scientology. So that's one of the key reasons I speak out, as well as they breaking up families, as well as medical abuse, fraud, stopping free speech, fair game, and roping in young kids for a billion-year contract, pretending it's going to be great when really it's awful. So that's why I speak out. So Narconon is way up the list because they do medical abuse with it, in that they don't really even have doctors there. If you're thinking, if you have a child and you need to get them care as far as drugs, do not send them to Narconon. Have horrible statistics. They have ex-Narconon members who talk about kids doing drugs during the program. It's a nightmare. But this is really unbelievable. It has to do with insurance fraud. Way to go, Narconon. Love it. All right. They literally billed the family of a 19-year-old Emily Morton. Narconon billed United Healthcare $166,000 when the family had only paid $15,000 in cash to do the Narconon program. And she had never even seen, they billed a doctor $58,000 and she'd never even seen the doctor. I mean, how's that? It doesn't get much slimier than this, Scientology. Miscavige, you are blowing it in a big way, man. You could call me, and Pete, this is for you, my SP declare. If any of you see this, yes, I'm a declared suppressive with the Church of Scientology, and here's where it says it is the Church of Scientology. So for Tommy Davis, who says, oh no, there's no disconnection, her only terminal is the International Justice Chief via the Continental Justice Chief, who will not speak to me in 12 years, almost 13. Thank you very much. So no, they don't apply their own technology even. And if you think I'm a horrible person, find out my side of it. And for you people that are in the Church of Scientology listening to this, can you please have some courage and call me and hear my side of things instead of just listening to their bullshit? I know I did that. I did it for years, so I know how it goes. It's like, it sounds so true. I'll tell you a true example of how they did this with me. And some of you have heard it, but if you haven't heard it, it's a good story. I was setting up interviews to get Dianetics up to number one. And we were working on it, and people were setting up interviews, and it was rolling along, and all of a sudden it just stopped, like overnight. That's it. And it was like, what's up? And they said, no, we don't want to do any more interviews with any of the celebrities with Scientology. We want to talk to L. Ron Hubbard's son. And I'm like, what? And they said, oh, yeah, he co-wrote a book with Ben Corden, L. Ron Hubbard, Messiah or Madman. And I literally got off the phone. I was just completely floored, because that's how Scientologists are. They're often in the dark. They don't keep up with things, so they don't know about these kind of things. And that's how I was. I had no clue this book had come out. And so I go to the executives and I'm like, what is this? And they said, just go home, Tory. Honestly, we'll have it all sorted out by tomorrow. So I'm like, all right. I mean, I'm completely floored that L. Ron Hubbard's son would write a book about him. I mean, I'm thinking, all I've heard are these glowing things about the family and all this stuff. I don't know that really L. Ron Hubbard's son was very, very pissed off at his dad for most of his life. So I come back, and here's this notarized piece of paper saying, I never had any problems with my father. I didn't co-author that book. I attest this is true. L. Ron Hubbard Jr. And it's notarized. And I look at these guys and I'm like, what is this? How can this be? And they go, Tory, we've told you for years, these critics are liars. That's what they do. And I left, honestly, for years. That stuck with me because it really seems so true. You see how it just fit the whole package, that it's like the critics are the liars. It's not, it's, no, he didn't. And so for years, I mean, this was in the 90s, the early 90s. No, it was the mid 80s when I heard this. And it wasn't until 2000 I escape out. I finally start having some parties. Ben Corden comes to one of the parties, and I say, okay, what happened with L. Ron Hubbard Jr.? And he says, hey, they paid him off that night, millions of dollars to get away. Shut up. And it was like so shocking to find out that was the other side of it. And since then, I've found out the other side of a lot of things. And my point being, when you're in, you only hear this one side of Jerry Armstrong, of Arnie Lerma, of different people that have spoken out. I'm sure anonymous now. They've told them all kinds of bullshit about that. But you've got to have the courage to call us up and find out our side, because there are two sides to a coin. And until you learn both sides, you really can't make a really logical, skeptical, something that you're thinking about. You're only being tilted one way, and you make the decisions their way, the way they want you to make them. And I'm saying you don't have to believe me, but learn both sides of all the information, and then you make up your own mind. And for people that are thinking about Narconon, look very, very closely, because these people, thank you to the Georgia police and the people that went in and raided this place. I love it. And I hope it sets an example for the rest of the United States, so that the law enforcement starts looking in. I mean, there's some serious human rights abuses happening in the church of Scientology, which couldn't be farther from a church. It's a business, like I said, at the best, it's at the best, it's a business. Down from that, it's a cult. Really and truly, what it is a criminal cult pretending to be a religion, and is really fleecing people to death. And if you're in it, I can't say it enough. Get the hell out of there. Bail while you still can. And to everybody who's been helping expose the abuses of this creepy, insidious organization, phony church, thank you so much. And I'm going to put the links in here for more information on this, so that you can look at it and read it. And I can't thank all of you enough. It's a combined effort, and everybody matters. I love you guys. Have a fantastic weekend. Bye-bye.